I have no idea how to start this video. I saw Marty Supreme. Let's talk about it. This is the newest film by Josh Safdie, the co-director of Good Time and Uncut Gems. Now, those two films are, in my opinion, pretty good. I quite like both of them. The main difference for me is that I think Good Time is more about a feeling of abandonment. The character in that movie feels like he doesn't have any other option but to go down the path he does, whereas Uncut Gems is a bit more focused on greed, but at the end of the day, they are similar pieces of work where the defining factor is how anxiety-inducing they are. Watching these movies was an actual exercise in the best way possible, and they are both also technical masterpieces in terms of score, editing, cinematography, and of course the acting. Now, those movies were made by Josh Safdie as well as his brother Benny Safdie. The two split off to do their own things, giving us October's The Smashing Machine and now Marty Supreme. Now, I actually like The Smashing Machine. I think it's a pretty solid 6 out of 10, but you just do gotta wonder, what the hell did Benny add while filming Uncut Gems? Because while The Smashing Machine is a big departure from their usual style, being a slower biopic instead of a fictional panic attack ride, Marty Supreme is so identical to how past Safdie movies felt that you genuinely cannot tell that the directing duo split up. I would never in a billion years assume that Marty Supreme was at all different to the previous two, if not for prior knowledge. Anyway, the movie also fucking rocks! The big thing is obviously Timothée Chalamet. Now, he's been controversial recently because of his promo for this movie. If you ask me, I kinda respect the hustle, and it makes even more sense after watching the movie. But even if you find him annoying, you just gotta admit that unfortunately he has the sauce required to justify everything he's doing. I absolutely adore everything he does, from Little Woman to Willy Wonka, and this is probably his best performance to date, which is fucking saying something. It's even funnier because I think I said this exact same thing word for word when talking about Dune last year, but his performance here blows Paul Atreides out of the water. This truly does feel like the role he was meant to play, and not only because it is surprisingly similar to his SAG speech last year, he disappears into this role so well, it's crazy. He's such a bitch, but the character tries justifying his shitty behavior, and Chalamet sells why he believes in all of this reasoning to a T, and then he still gets you to like Marty because he is so fucking charming that you end up just going, what a shithead, I love him. Marty Mauser is the defining movie character of 2025, and I refuse to hear otherwise. And his supporting cast is crazy good as well. There really is no character that even comes close to being a deuteragonist in this, because everyone who's not Marty can sometimes disappear for like 40 minutes at a time. But Odessa Zion made quite the impact, I would say. She's for sure my second favorite performance in the movie. She has a lot of range as her character gets into many different predicaments, and it's lovely to watch. Gwyneth Paltrow is also great here, which is nice to see because I can't remember the last time I saw her in a movie. She has a great chemistry with Marty and also plays this older, more tired, realistic character very gently. I think you really do feel for her in a lot of the movie. But there's genuinely so many characters, and all of them are cast so well, whether they have 5 scenes or 2 lines. Now, technically speaking, I would say this is even an improvement over Uncut Gems. The cinematography is striking. The score manages to be both a banger whilst also helping the movie keep up its intense pace. The direction and editing keeps things exciting and tense like a usual Safdie movie. The costumes and production design are perfect. The atmosphere just feels exactly right. I also love the use of licensed music in this. Not only are the songs they use great, but they fit their respective scenes so well. Like, you can basically track Marty's arc through the movie's soundtrack, and that's just so cool. Usually licensed songs are just fun because you already like the tune and they enhance the scene, but their implementation here genuinely services the story. Also, the first licensed song plays over an opening montage so crazy that I immediately knew the movie would be an all-timer. That scene is absolutely fucking crazy. I was in my seat, jaw dropped. And I just love the story. I love that the trailers are basically lying. This is advertised as a rags to riches inspirational story with a tagline of dream big, but in reality, not only is the movie a balls to the walls crazy flick where you cannot guess where the story goes next ever, but it's also a direct commentary on that idea of just working hard for that American dream no matter what and getting what you deserve. It is so much deeper and so much more fun than you think. And the ending, without spoiling, is so interesting to me, not only because of how perfect it is for the natural progression of the movie and the aforementioned use of licensed music, but because of how weirdly hopeful it is. Like, despite the fact that this is so similar to the previous Safdie movies, its ending is so much more different. It's most similar to, interestingly enough, The Smashing Machine. Both films end on a very similar note in terms of both the character's literal situation within the contents of the plot, and also their mental state regarding said situation and how that correlates to their character arcs. That's so bizarre to me that the directing duo split up, made wildly different movies, and then still came to the same finish line. It's strangely heartwarming in a way. But anyway, I don't have much more to say aside from go watch Marty Supreme. Yeah, this is honestly my favorite movie of the year. I absolutely adored everything about it. I am giving it a 9 out of 10, and honestly, upon rewatch, I might bump it up to a 10. I will update once I make the best movies of the year list because you bet your ass I will be talking about it then too. Thank you for watching.